full disclosure, I was not 100% sure that I was going to like that book. A Single Light by Tosca Lee. Basically, the gist of it is there's a pandemic going on. Sound familiar? In her defense, she started the series before COVID hit. In fact, even the second book in the series, which this is, came out before COVID was a thing. So sometimes it's a little too on point. We didn't go quite as bad as they did. Theirs is very much more apocalyptic. Basically, in A Single Light, no spoilers, you're going to find this out relatively soon. So this particular disease, a animal, I can't remember what type it was because that was in book 1, which I did not read. I'm going to have a point about that in a second. Was uncovered. It had a disease. Somehow that disease got into the food of some pigs, and then of course the pigs got sick. And basically, instead of this one, it's not like COVID is, but basically it kind of triggers rapid early onset dementia. Dementia is one thing when you've got people who can help take care of that person. Obviously, it's a little bit different when everybody has it. It's one of those types of diseases where people don't die from the disease, they die from something that happens because of the disease. So I don't want to give too much away because obviously, like I said, I read book 2, and to even bring you up to speed on where we are in book 1 kind of gives away some of this book 1 stuff. But let's just say that they are holed up somewhere waiting out this thing. The main character, it's hard to do. It's real. Wow, it is hard to do a review on a book 2. But you know what? Hey, the book came out in 2019. I'm not going to worry too much about spoilers. You probably haven't read this. What was book 1 again? Oh, I just killed me. Book 1 was The Line Between. This one is A Single Light. She is a person of interest in a murder that she did not commit. So she's trying to hide her actual identity. Although, like I said, they're holed up somewhere. Nobody's got access to the news, things like that. So, not everybody knows. Nobody's looking for her where she's at. Let's put it that way. But yeah, a lot of secrets come out in this book, which, like I said, I'm really trying hard not to do any spoilers. I am going to say, as much as I love, and you know me, I read books in order. I have to read book 1 before book 2. I started this not realizing it was book 2. That's not Tosca's fault. I actually picked this book up at a author event that she held over here at the local bookstore, the Bookworm here in Omaha. And I'm sure she probably mentioned it, but it's been on my TBR pile, so I finally got around to it. And the reason I'm actually glad I read this second, because I want to point out to any other people out there, any other authors, Tosca definitely knows how to write a book 2 in such a way that you could read it as a standalone if you wanted. Not that she doesn't touch on the stuff that happened in book 1, but that she really deftly interweaves the parts of book 1 that you need to know, either through conversations or flashbacks or stuff like that, without it ever feeling like, oh, and here's an info dump to catch you up to speed. It really fits in through the story process in such a way that it flows effortlessly. And I love that. I'm going to read book 1, don't get me wrong, but I don't feel like I have to go back and read book 1. I definitely didn't need to read book 1 to know exactly where everybody stood in here. The other thing I want to point out, Tosca's got 2 things going for her, maybe three. First of all, what's the page count on this puppy? 368. Now, some of you might think that's a little hefty. Personally, anything less than 400 to me is a short book. So, this is a quick, easy read. She's got short chapters, which of course I love. Y'all know by now, I can't read another 80-page chapter when I'm tired. However, I can probably read 9 to 10 more 10-page chapters when I'm tired. Because you always feel like, I could read one more chapter. I had started reading this slowly because, as usual, I'm reading 3 books at a time. But I'd say somewhere around page 100 maybe. I finished up the rest of it in the last 2 days because I just could not put it down. Not only are they short chapters, but she keeps the pace moving. If you want a book that you can just sit down and enjoy, this one is definitely it. Some of you might feel like, an American-wide pandemic is a little too close to home at this point in time. But like I said, it's not a derivative of COVID. This is not anything we've seen. Like I said, she wrote this. She actually published this before COVID hit. if I remember correctly, A Single Light came out in 2019. You know, it's not a copycat of COVID. It's just really, really weird timing. But yeah, if you want a little bit of apocalyptic without it having to be, you know, a nuclear meltdown or something, this is definitely one. There's the dark in people, but there's a little hope too. Personally, I can't tell people to read book 2 without reading book 1, so definitely go out there and pick up The Line Between, give it a try. I'm going to. It's going to happen. But if you find yourself in with A Single Light in hand and you realize it's book 2, don't worry that you absolutely positively have to go back and read book 1. Marvelous storyteller, and as anybody who's at the Bookworms ever told me, also a wonderful human being. You know, get out there, give Tosca Lee a try, support her. I'm definitely going to be reading more Tosca Lee in the future. If you like a quick, easy read, if you like a dark apocalyptic read, those two things don't normally go together. As much as I love Swan Song by Robert McCammon, it was not a quick, easy read. It was very dark. But Tosca has actually managed to put those two things together. This may be the first post-apocalyptic beach read I can tell people to pick up. Good story, wonderful characters, a lot more depth than you normally get in what is also, like I said, a quick, easy read. But yeah, once you get into it, once you get past those first 100 pages or so, you're not going to be able to put the book down. That's all I got. Have a good one, guys.